Bella, and today we're gonna read The Magic Tree of Merlin Mission Book 21 Stallion by Starlight. And today we're gonna start reading at chapter 3, Big Thinkers, and we end up reading at chapter 4. And today is my birthday, so please celebrate and write some letters for me, please. And now, already read this one book with a lot of stories, and now here we go. And first you can read is The Magic Tree of Merlin Mission Book 21 Stallion by Starlight, Chapter 3, Big Thinkers. Haha, Jack laughed, as if Annie were crazy. Don't pay attention for her. We're leaving now. Who are you to play our teacher? A boy shouted. How dare a girl excuse him? Another yelled. He shook his fist at Annie. She isn't insulting anyone, said Jack, but don't worry, we're going. He took Annie's arm and started to pull her along. Stay, the teacher commanded. Jack and Annie froze. Tell me more, said the man. That it is aware that I'm surprised, as you have surprised me. What do you mean Earth is not the center of the universe? Well, said Annie, the Earth is a planet, said Annie. And all the planets in our solar system have traveled around the sun. The teacher smiled. Is that what you believe? He said, it's not just I believe, this is what I know, said Annie. A trip around the sun takes a year. The students laughed. You're speaking nonsense, said the one, and wasting our precious time with Ostrode. Ostrode? Cried Jack. He knew that name. He mind raced it, trying to remember who Ostrode was. I'm just telling you facts, said Annie. While the Earth is circling around the sun, it rotates. Rotate means to spin around. And the one rotation of the Earth is 1 day. The boy snickered, but Ostrich was quiet. What a novel idea, he said softly. And then he had turned into boys. Our class is over for today. I would like to speak to these 2 visitors alone. The boys groomed, but they tucked their tablets under their arms and handed out to the bright square. Ostrode stared at Jack and Annie. Who are you? Where are you from? He said. I'm Annie. This is Jack, my brother, and we're from Frog Creek. Frog Creek, said Ostrode. It's west of Greece, said Jack. And who are you? Said Annie. My name is Ostrode. I have come from the ancient Greece to teach policy science in Metacona. Jack gasped. Now he'd remember. Ostrode now was a glory, a post of a science in ancient Greece. One past mission, Dave delivered his writings of the ruler baggage. I've heard about you, said Annie. You're a big thinker, and you're writing ones, but the camel ate them, she laughed. It wasn't funny at the time, but Annie, said Jack. He shook his head. It won't be impossible to explain the trip to the backland. The trip had happened more than 1,000 years after it's time for the story. My sister has big imagination, he said. Also, it would seem, said Ostrode. Her ideas about the universe are completely wrong, of course, but I am assured that she has a theory. Why? said Annie. I do not think the girls had ability to think about such things, said Ostrode. And Annie looked at Jack. He was kidding, right? She said, and Jack laughed nervously. Well, no, he says. Squirreling Annie was starting to say something. Oscar smiled at her. You must be very special girl. Come on, let's walk and talk. And you can show me what big thinkers you both are. Jack and Annie have fell into step into the philosopher that started across the square. Besides complaining the universe, what else do you think about? Astrid asked Annie. I think a lot about animals. She said, wonderful. Animals are worth to us something natural and beautiful, said Astrid. So you study them? I do study them, said Annie. But more than that, I fall in love with them. I think that's the way I really learn. Oh, very good, said Astrid. I truly educate your mind and must to educate your heart. And where does your heart lead to, Jack? Do you prefer of a light of sports, literary turning? Jack shook his head. I'm not a super great at sports, he said, or military training, but I'm good at research. I take notes on everything. Jack found a spring surprisingly easy to talk with Apollo for. I love learning about the rainforest and to the deep sea and the moon. I love learning about everything, really. Me too, said Annie. Indeed, said Astrid. You both are really remarkable, said Jack. Not really. I guess we just kind of know ourselves. So it would be them, the asteroid said, knowing yourselves to begin of our wisdom. More than Jack and Annie have learned about them, more than learning ourselves, said Annie. We are always trying to new stuff. Yeah, even when we make a fool of ourselves. Do sometimes, said Jack, especially me. And Asteroid chuckled. I think we should not dare to make a fool of ourselves again and again. He said, anyone who fears is like a fool must say nothing, do nothing, and be nothing. So it would be seen, said Annie. May I ask, why have you come to Medicona, said Asteroid. Does your visit to King propose? It does, said Jack with a laugh. He was enjoying talking to the asteroid so much that he forgot their mission. Actually, we are looking for Alexander the Great. Do you know him? Said Annie. I'm not Prince named Alexander, the son of the King Philip, said the asteroid. That's him, said Annie. But I must say I would not call him great yet, said Asteroid. It's only 12 years old. 12? Said Jack. Yeah, Alexander is the reason I, too, have come to Medicona, said Asteroid. When the prince has turned into the 13 in a few weeks, I will become his daughter. What are you looking for him? We love to spend some time with him, said Annie. We heard, you know. Great. Asteroid sighed. The prince would certainly wish you two think so, he said. Well, if you want to meet him, King Philip is having a gathering at the royal house this afternoon. It is close by. Austria pointed to the mansion to the hill above the square. The prince will be in addition. Would you like to go with me? Yes, said Jack and Annie together. Good. Then let us climb to the hill, said Annie to the palace bird. And he had started off the pebble path that led to the royal house. Jack and Annie followed, grinning at each other. That's fantastic, said Jack softly. Maybe our mission will be more easier, I thought. When they reached the top hill, Jack was surprised at the plannings of a royal house. It looked like a big white box with a tied-up roof and simple economies. 2 guards have created helmets, stood like statues behind the entrance. Each held a giant shield and decorated the star. Please wait outside, said Astrid. I must urge the king I have brought the guests into the gathering that one of them is a girl. Why? Said Annie. No girls allowed? I fear females are allowed to audition such events, said Astrid. But I imagine the king has never made a girl like you before. Thanks, said Annie. I think after Astrid left, she turned to Jack. What's wrong with all of the men in the history? Nearly everyone we go into the treehouse, girls aren't allowed to anything of the fun stuff. I know, that's crazy, said Jack. But let's stay calm. Remember, the king is furious fighter. Yeah, well, said Annie, holding up the fist. We have a magic that could make me a good fighter too. She said, not even think about it, said Jack, glancing to the guards, and Annie glared the fist. Aren't you surprised that Alexander is only 12? She said, it wouldn't be just a 16 or 17 greater. I know. How great can he be? Said Jack. He pulled out their book and looked up at the Alexander childhood into the index. With his back to the guard, Jack read a soft voice. Young Alexander was raised into the manner of a noble youth, and from the early age he had received the energy training to become immediately an excellent of a swordsman, spear, of a thrower, and a chariot driver. He was champion of the elite and excelled all the sports. Oh man, said Jack, it sounds like a Superman. Astrid's back, whispered Annie, and Jack had slipped into the book into his bag. The king was granted our appeasement. The ostrich said, looking at Annie. You may both come inside. Hooray, said Jack. She and Jack followed the Pearlsburg into the royal house. Now it's chapter 4, the One-Eyed King. Now, Jack and Annie are going into the royal house and gonna meet the Alexander the Great. And maybe tomorrow we get the new week and new stories, but the 99 and 9% will be this book and the story. And 1% is new book. Now, did you have fun? You love English country, we come back with some this book or the new book and new stories. Now, bye-bye everybody, and please celebrate like I've just said. Oh, and please don't send my YouTube many and many, many because it's my birthday. Now, bye-bye everybody, and have a nice day. Bye!